What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. In today's video, we're talking about pressure washing equipment mistakes that'll cost you a lot of money. Of course, I brought the king of all pressure washing builds on to the channel. Cody, how's it going, man?
I like to be referred to as the czar of pressure
The
washing.
czar.
I don't know why.
Okay, the czar, the top G of pressure washing, right?
Yeah, that's right. No, man, I'm
It-
doing good. How are you, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. So in this video, we're going to be talking about pressure washer mistakes, obviously, that will cost you. If you guys didn't know, me and Cody actually put together a course. I mean, I say I filmed it, Cody taught, but we talked about how to build a pressure washing trailer or pressure washing rig. So Cody, you want to tell them a little bit about it?
Yeah, we filmed a bunch of modules in there, and it goes from a lot of things that we're going to look at in this video that we're doing today. Mistakes guys make, even guys that are, you know, equipment builders out there. Just be careful with that because anybody can start building equipment, and you know what? That's fine. We actually like that because we wholesale parts to those folks anyway. But just make sure somebody's building it right. If you choose to build it yourself, that's great too. Just make sure you're doing it correctly because as we're about to see, it can be it can be pretty detrimental if you don't. And it's little things that you may not notice. So we're going to go through
Right.
some of that. And all that stuff is in the course.
In the course. So if you guys want to check out the course, first link in the comment section description. Cody's been building equipment for over 3 years. In the course, we go over what's best for you, how to build the things that are best for you, mistakes, and a lot of the principles that we're going to kind of be talking about in today's video. So we got a couple people in the chat. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I'm going to jump right into this. We're going to take a look at a couple rigs that are really messed up, that went through some bad stuff, and Cody's going to kind of break down some things that can go wrong along the way. So this first one, Cody, you sent me this video. This trailer actually caught on fire. You want to talk us through this one?
Yeah, it's and guys, we're going to look at this one and a couple of more screenshots here in a second, I think. And listen, it sucks for this dude. We're not trying to, Monday morning quarterback, but we have to learn from things. We've all made mistakes, if you built a back porch and it fell in and people got hurt, you need to know why, right? You need to know like what was wrong so that we don't keep repeating the same thing. So the story on this one was that, and I heard this secondhand, that this came from a shop. Somebody built this for this guy, and something with the gas cap or the gas can for the pressure washer being not vented properly was what caused that. I don't know. I can't confirm that. I don't even know whose rig that was, but it was going around the Facebook pages on a lot of the groups about a month ago. So I screen grabbed it because I wanted to, use it. So I don't know what's going on with this guy. I hope he got back up and running, but that rig is toast. And you can see there, it did have a hot water system on there. So gas cans, fuel is a big deal. I know a lot of guys, Justin, that builders now, they modify gas cans because I'm talking about the ones you can buy online that are made by a gas company, right? That's a very heavily regulated industry. I watched a documentary on that a while back where even the kind you pour, but I'm talking about the kind that you mount. It's got a port on there for a small engine to run off of. Do not modify any of that stuff. We don't do that. If I'm not an engineer, I'm not going to override Underwriter's Laboratory and say, well, I got a better idea, because if I do, that liability comes back on me. So I don't know exactly what went wrong there, but if you're going to build it yourself or have somebody else, just make sure they're not modifying stuff like that. That's going to be hard for an insurance claim to be filed if you modified the gas tank.
Absolutely. And if that person has a special price, then it probably means that it comes with some special, some other special things like this one did. So like Cody mentioned, we don't want, this to happen to anybody else. That's why we're covering it. It's not to make fun of this guy or anything like that.
Yeah, you just got to learn from it. Like on our skids, if a guy upgrades to an 8-gallon a minute, so those engines don't have their own fuel cell. A 5-gallon a minute pressure washer is running like a Honda 390 sized engine, whether it's a Kohler, Vanguard. They got their own gas tank made onto the pressure washer, right? Made onto the motor. Well, if you go up to the next size motor, that 630, 690 size, no matter what the brand is, they don't have their own fuel tank. So you got to have an auxiliary fuel cell. It's no big deal. It's a common thing, right? On our skids, we use an aluminum fuel cell. So it's metal and it's mounted above. You don't want a muffler blowing right on that, but it is an aluminum fuel tank. On our trailers, we do use a plastic one. Look at Mike getting us $1 for you. He's paid me for that footage he stole. But we do use a plastic fuel tank, and they're fine. I mean, they've made trillions and trillions of these things, so they're made to be used. Though, don't get into your mind that a plastic fuel tank is bad. You just got to make sure you locate it in the right spot, secure it down, attach everything correctly, and it's good to go.
Okay, absolutely. So we wanted to take a look at this one first. Cody, we have a list of basically 5 things that can go wrong, 5 different mistakes that equipment builders make. The first of which was fire. Is this the first bad one?
Yeah, I mean, so that one, I don't know if you've got that other footage, those
Yeah.
screenshots, but this next one we're going to look at was from a different. And I know this guy kind of, he's in some of the Facebook groups. I know who he is, and he had a bad go of it too. He got this van, and I think this was an electrical issue that caused this to happen. And dude was, he was trying to get it together. He was trying to get up and running, and something like this happens, man, you're screwed. Like you just barely were trying to get going. So make sure your electrical stuff is circuit protected. And we go over this stuff in the course, but I've seen a lot of guys say things like, well, my fuse kept blowing on my pump, so I put a bigger fuse in there, but I upgraded the fuse. It's not an upgrade. You just took your safety system out of your circuit. So adequate wiring is a big deal, making sure that you don't underwire things. We use Richard's got a little random piece of wire in here. This is little bitty wire that we would use this on like a smart blend or a smart stream, something that's basically just pulling super low voltage data transmission and stuff like that. I've got a pump right here. Actually, this is pretty handy that this is sitting here. I wasn't even planning on showing you guys this, but check this out. This is cool. Worked out good for this video. Can y'all see that? That's burnt, kind of meltiness. So somebody sent this pump back. It came back today. One of our customers bought this pump from us straight from Remco. All we do is take it off the pallet and ship it to him. And he called and said the pump wasn't working, and these connections looked like they were janked up and like they got melted, and they did. So what happened was Remco, they put these little connectors on at the factory, and they're supposed to be, they strip the wire back, they put the connector on, they crimp it, and they didn't get a good crimp. And so it had a poor connection here from the factory, poor connection, and it didn't cause any kind of catastrophic failure, but the pump did fail, and that was the reason. And so we looked around. He did this. I don't know why I don't know why he did that. I think he was trying to make the pump work. But so even if it comes from a factory, just understand humans are involved, right? So things can go wrong. Things a lot of times can be fixed, but just be on the lookout for things like that. Poor connections, poor wiring jobs, no circuit protection. I couldn't tell you the amount of DIY built systems that I've seen, and they don't put circuit protection is the furthest thing from a toe's mind. He's just trying to get up and running, and you'll be fine until you burn your van down. So don't do that.
Okay. It'll be fun. I like the way you said that, Cody. Fun until you burn your van down. Those were the 2 examples that we had to look at. So the first one is fire, which goes along the lines of wiring, right? So the second one would be weight. So Cody, what mistakes do people make with regards to weight?
Well, if you're building a trailer, you're going to make sure that your trailer can handle the weight that you're about to put on it. That guys, these tanks, I see guys with these big old 500-gallon tanks, and I don't like, did you ever do the math on how much that thing weighs if it's full of water? And then I see guys say, well, we're never going to really, fill it up with water. Yeah, you will. There's going to come a day where you're going to fill that thing up with water and go down the road, and you're like grossly overweight. So a single axle trailer build is fine. The internet don't want to admit that, but it's fine. We don't build any single axle trailer builds just because I know what the internet would say. You guys are building crappy rigs. It's like, no, but so we only build tandem axle with brakes because we're a manufacturer. If you're going to build one yourself, just make sure you stay within what that axle's rated for, right? I like a tandem because if you blow a tire, you still got a tire on the ground, so it's much safer. And standard is going to be 5,000-pound axles. You can go up to 7,500-pound axles, and if you do that on 2 axles, you just gained a whole bunch of weight capacity. So just make sure on a trailer build that you're not overbuilding what the trailer itself is rated for. And if you're building a skid, same thing. You don't want to put a skid that really needs to go in a F-250 size truck, and you put it in, a Toyota Tundra, which is like smaller than an F-150 kind of. So you just be careful with overweighting things. You don't want to be going down the road with 4 tons of stuff, man. It's just not, it's not good. Our trailers, even if you deck it out and put every tank slapped to the top, fill the gas tank up, fill everything to the brim, we've weighed them at a certified scale, and we're about, I think it was like 12 or 1,300 pounds under the rating on the trailer. So that means you still got wiggle room for tools and knickknacks, and we do that on purpose. So I can't be accused of anything. I'm using way more trailer than I need when I do a build.
Man, that's super cool. Like, you guys have to take into account things that people building their own stuff wouldn't even think about, right, Cody?
Yeah, I mean that people don't think about that stuff, but we had to go and weigh every piece of equipment because we can't let you leave here with even if it's not overweight, we can't let you leave here for liability reason if it has the capacity to go over that weight. So
Right.
there's a lot of liability here, and that guy that maybe built that first trailer that was on fire, I don't know who built it, but I was told that it was a company built that for him. Okay, like think about the liability issues there with that guy. I hope could just be an accident. I'm not saying that every failure is, because you didn't do it right, but we dang sure don't want to be guilty of not doing it right. So weight's a big deal.
Perfect. Cody, quick question with regard to like enclosed builds like this one. What are your thoughts on those as opposed to like something that's open?
I don't like them. I don't like them at all because of the fumes. And a thing that a lot of people don't think about is regular old AGM batteries. You're not supposed to have those in the cab. So we have it on our website. It's on our purchase agreement. If a guy buys a mini skid and puts it in a van, that's on him. We don't recommend. If you're going to do that, you need to put a lithium battery in there because if I'm not mistaken, that may have been the issue with this van build here. It was a battery, something happened with the battery. So there's just a lot of things. Aaron had, he ran that van forever, and he'll tell you like headaches and fumes, and it's just not good. I know you can vent tanks and stuff, but I just don't. I don't like. It's super convenient, but I don't like it from a building standpoint. I don't like it from a maintenance standpoint at all.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, so we touched on wiring, plumbing. I mean, wiring and weight. The next one, Cody, the next big mistake a lot of people make is plumbing. So what mistakes can we make along those routes?
Yeah, and these are mistakes, guys, that can cost you a lot of money, right? So how can fire? That makes sense. Overweight, right? Something fails, you blow an axle, you wreck. Plumbing. How can plumbing cost you a lot of money? Well, if you underplumb things, the worst thing you can do for a pump is to starve it. Underplumbing on the suction sides of pumping systems or on the discharge side, putting too small of hose on the discharge side, you're going to be burning up pumps like crazy. I couldn't tell you the guys that I've seen that built their own rigs, bro, and they're running like 7 gallon a minute Rimcos on 3/8 hose. Like I don't even buy no 3/8 hose. We don't, half inch is the lowest we go, and that's for 5 gallon. If you go up to a 7, I mean, you really need to be looking at a 5/8 hose on the discharge side. 24 volt, we run a 5/8. You could also, you're kind of borderline there on a 3/4, but making sure that your plumbing matches what your systems are trying to do, because if you don't, you're just overworking your pumps all the time, right? So you may buy 6 extra Rimco or 6 extra 12 volts a year just because you don't have your plumbing squared away. And not to mention if you're doing that to your pressure washer pump, right? That's $700-800 for a nice 8 gallon a minute pump. Another thing is plumbing. We don't want to plumb anything at the top on the bleach tank. I mean, I'm sorry, anything at the bottom on the bleach tank. We plumb everything. The suction lines come in from the top. That's another common failure because eventually that bulkhead is going to die one day. And if it's at the bottom of that bleach tank, you just dumped 100 gallons of bleach in the back of your truck. So now you're screwed right there. So make sure you're coming from the top. Water tank don't matter. Surfactant tank don't matter. Those are just soap and water, right? So on your water tank, don't go all the way to the bottom. We keep it off the bottom about 4 or 5 inches, which is for sediment and things like that. So plumbing, it don't sound like there's rocket science, but you do want to make sure that you're in the right parameters on plumbing so that you don't overwear things out really for no reason, causing stuff to struggle to run. It's not good for it.
Right. And one of the benefits, like we talked about before, to you guys getting the course and learning from Cody is over the course of, how many rigs have you built, Cody? Like hundreds and hundreds of rigs?
3,000.
3,000 rigs. Like you've dialed in on all of the little idiosyncrasies, all the little things that could go wrong. How many iterations? I mean, we're on what, second or third iteration of Illumimax or
We're on it's Gen 3, but we call it the Gen 2 because it's the second gen on the aluminum platform. But just this year in the first quarter, we built almost 100 rigs. So we're turning 100 rigs a quarter, right? So every month, 30 to 35 rigs a month, every month for the last several years. So when you build that many of anything, it wouldn't matter if it was Lego Star Wars figures. You're going to figure out the best way to do it. So just take it from me. You want it this way. This is the gospel according to me. Okay.
Isn't it funny though? Like instead of like, imagine if people built their own cars. Like they wouldn't
Yeah.
go through Ford to like figure out how to build a car. I'd be like, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out one way or another.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, part of me likes that because I'm that way too, in a certain extent. I mean, I built an empire doing that. But the other
Right.
side of it is if you don't know anything about that, you're probably going to pay more figuring it out in the long run. You just won't realize it because it's little bits over time
Right.
and then just dropping the check and buying a professionally made rig. So there's definitely tons of guys out there that can build their own stuff. It's not that hard, but if you're not that guy or you just don't want to fool with it, our turnaround times now are like stupid quick. We're around a month or less to get a rig. So if you want to get a rig, our prices are competitive. It's right there where you want to be at. Or if you want to build it yourself, we sell a ton of parts and I'm all for that, but just make sure that it's correct when you get it.
Right. So you guys check out southeaststopwatch.com. I have it linked in the comment section and description if you're interested in any of that. But let's get into the next one, Cody. So we talked about wiring, weight, plumbing, and now placement. Like you would think that there's not a lot that could really go wrong with placement. You just figure out, throw it together, where everything's at, it's where it's at. But what kind of issues can we run into?
Well, Justin, I don't know if you've ever worked on a lot of vehicles. Aaron has. His dad's, owns that shop down there in South Alabama. But older vehicles were a lot easier to work on. Newer
Right.
vehicles can't, everything's crammed in there. So when we're laying a rig out, we want to look at placement of hose reels, plumbing, wiring, batteries, pressure washer, especially because here's what I know. You're already prone to not do the maintenance intervals. And if you build it to where it's like super hassly to do, then you're just not going to do them. And if you don't do maintenance, right, preventative maintenance, if you don't do maintenance, an ounce of maintenance is worth a pound of repair and fix down the road. So you want to make sure that you're thinking sort of in that general, okay, 3 months from now, and I need to change this oil in this thing. How hard or how easy can I make it, right? If you make it super difficult, you're just going to let it ride and you're going to keep letting it ride until you have a catastrophic failure. So placement on things, you want it to be that you're kind of hitting there's two sides of the coin. You want it to be easy on the daily use, and you also want to be able to accessibility on the maintenance side when that time comes.
Absolutely. Okay. Makes a ton of sense. And then within the course, it was like some little things, like very things you wouldn't think about, you know what I mean, on a daily basis. And if you put something on the wrong spot, it's gonna be just a pain every single day, right, Cody?
Well, and that, guys, it comes from us building a lot of rigs, and it comes from this as well. These are tech support tickets, right? And most of these are malarkey, a good many of them, but we do get good guys, that give us feedback. And at this point, we've got, everything's pretty dialed in. But just think about the feedback that we've got. Your customers are one of your best sources of feedback. There's companies out there that pay millions to have third party guys come in and analyze and give them feedback and kind of point them in a direction because it's sometimes hard to see that when you're this close to it. So our customer feedback through the tech support system has allowed us to, when we get a good legit one, we can go out here and implement a change. And we've done that many times, several times, where it helps us refine not only our rigs, but what we're, teaching you guys to build it. Maybe a little tweak there that we want to do slightly different in the future. So it's not just, I didn't just dream all this up. It's from the market is telling us what is right.
Right. And we've taken the same approach with Quote IQ. It's just like all the emails we get, customer feedback on a daily basis, and it's just totally refine the app. And then we take everything that everybody's mentioning and we throw it in and we just make it better and better and better and evolve it. I can't wait till we get to the point where you're at, Cody, where like it's evolved for like a very long time and it's like where it needs to be.
But dude, we were talking about this yesterday. Me and Emily were talking like, God, man, we're in year 5 and we're still putting business systems in place like Jill's office. We just got signed up with them. I've got a link on the website if you guys want to get an answering service, but it's like, bro, this was life changing. Why? It's just those things that you put in place. And it's the same thing when you're building a rig. It's like if you build your own rig, here's what I can promise you. You will not build one and run it for 20 years. Because at about year 2, you're going to be like, dang, I'm going to completely redo this thing because now
Right.
knowing what I know now, right, I need it oriented this way because you just learn and you grow with things.
Right. Absolutely. I'm going to answer 2 comments real quick, Cody. This guy says, how can I speak with somebody about Quote IQ? I need to get past the automated service. So there is no automated service. You basically email and you're talking to somebody. So if you need to talk to somebody, email us at support@quoteiq.io. And I'll throw it in the chat for everybody. As well as this one, as someone starting a new business, how should I be keeping track of expenses, doing taxes? You can do that with the Quote IQ for free. You can track your expenses.
Yep, that stuff's killer, man. Like the biggest question we get up here is how do I price and how do I charge? And really, I hate that question because it's a more involved question than I can't just give you a number. Quote IQ does all of that stuff, so it lets you backwards math to your pricing, so you know it's accurate. It keeps up with all that stuff because most of us guys, look, I just know most of you guys are like me. We're all kind of the same. We really are all about going and doing the work and getting the money, but all that little crap, all that maintenance on the rig, all that tracking those expenses, you don't want to do it. If you got Quote IQ, it's just like placement on the rig, right? You're making it to where you will do it because it's easy to do. And it's
Right.
come April, you're going to thank yourself that you did that because Joe Biden going to get his, baby.
Absolutely. So keep track of everything. Run a tight business, right? We talked about this last time. I think, a lot of people, I just got an email that said this is an automated system. It's not. There's an automated response that tells you the troubleshooting things that you do, but we get the email. So just email it again. We talked about this before though. My uncle, he built a whole business, had a whole bunch of customers. He had employees, he had equipment, he had all kind of stuff. And then one day he just let it go to the side. He never sold it. He didn't keep any books. He didn't keep nothing. The business could have been worth, $1, $2, $3 million. But instead, now he's got nothing but just like telling me stories about the good old days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So run the business legitimate, try to do everything as best you can. All right. So we went through wiring, weight, plumbing, placement. And last one, Cody, the last, big mistake that people make that's going to cost them is use it. So you want to explain this one to us?
Yeah, you got to use it, man. Like we get so many guys that'll buy, I don't want to say a ton, but it's a percentage of them that they'll buy a rig, they'll take it home and they'll put it up. And then 6 months later, they want to talk about tech support. Like, hold on a minute now. You got 3 months of tech support, not 2 years, not 6 months, because we can't be on the hook forever. But, well, I never used it. Well, that's kind of stupid. That's on you. But make sure you're using your stuff. We had a guy the other day that he's had his trailer almost a year and he'd never used it. He still had the original water in the tank from where we tested it when it left out of here. And now it's full of algae. The filters are full of junk. He was like, how am I going to clean this out? I'm like, well, I mean, you can throw a little bit of bleach and, there's ways that you can clean it out, but the best thing you can do is just use it, this stuff's designed to be run and used and cycled through. The worst thing you can do for a pump is let it sit. It'll seize up, it's just not good for it, especially these electric pumps. If you ever run bleach through them, you go home, play with it a little bit, put it away, that pump is gone because it's just going to lock up over the next few months of not being used. So it's just like a vehicle, right? You couldn't buy a truck that sat on the lot for 5 years and expect to get in and everything be great. It's actually worse for equipment to sit there than to be used every day. So don't think about it like you're using it and you're wearing it out. Not using it is not great for it either. So just use your stuff, man. I got some real bougie everyday carry these things and pocket knives and stuff. I beat on my stuff. I want it to work, right? I want to use it so I know if it's going to fail. I'm going to find that out, on the daily.
Cody, is this alleged right here? I'm not even going to read it out loud.
No, it happened. Yeah, I've got a screen.
Really?
I thought I sent that to you guys in the chat. I'm out. Yeah. Yep.
And I might have missed it. I'm not sure, but
true. Yep. So that whole situation's kind of in developing, but yeah. So
maybe we could do an update video if there's some more things happen. So anyway, 5 things, right? I'm gonna cover them one more time. Wiring, weight, plumbing, placement, and actually utilizing, the equipment, so that way you keep everything going.
Yep.
Okay. Well, sweet, Cody. I got one more question for you that I got as a DM, and I just wanted you to answer it because I think you'd be better at answering this than me. So let me pop it up. All right. So he says, hey, Justin, I understand you're busy. So I'll keep this short. In the early stages of my business and currently he's using a pump up sprayer for his chems. I have customers complaining about the smell. I'm currently waiting on my surfactant to arrive, which is what I'm going to use to cover the smell. But for the short term, he wants to know if he can use essential oils with his mix, but he's worried about them being acidic. So Cody, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I wouldn't mix those two. If it's acidic because you're on two, like you said in the comment, you're on two ends of this pH and you're going to come together in the middle, probably nothing will happen, but I wouldn't do that. I don't mix anything with bleach that I don't know is stable. So we sell surfactant. I don't know where you're getting it from, but we ship we're pretty caught up right now. We're shipping like into 2-3 business days. It's not like that all the time, but right now we're pretty current. But if you guys are ever in a pinch, go to the laundry aisle at Walmart or Target, if you're bougie, and get you some laundry detergent, because laundry detergent's formulated to go in the washing machine. And what else goes in the washing machine? Bleach. So all your laundry soaps will be stable with SH. Now, they do suck as a surfactant, but it's something, and it'll help until you get some pro grade stuff in that's going to rinse better off the windows and things like that. So do not put Dawn. Do not put Dawn. Do not put Dawn in bleach. It actually tells you that on the back of the jug. So just don't use Dawn. No, I wouldn't use anything like that, just to be safe.
Okay, beautiful.
Also, do not mix bleach and Roundup. Don't ask me how.
Who's done that? Is that something people do, Cody?
I did that one time by mistake. It was bad, dude. We were going to spray a fence line for our property for hunting. Oh, no.
Bad idea.
It looked like a witch's cauldron, just smoke coming out of this thing. I was freaked. I was like, bro, my brother was with me. My brother was like 12. And I was like, bro, if you die, mom will kill me, and then she'll resurrect you and kill you again, because he was out there helping me. I was like, just go over there. I'll die. I'm the oldest. Mom don't care about me anyway.
But did you treat it with it then, Cody? You kept going?
Spraying water over to dilute it down, but there was just a little bit of bleach residue in the tank. It was my little batch mix tank. I was like 20 and young, stupid. Be careful mixing chems.
Hey, you survived, man. I guess that's what it's all about. Cody, anything else that you want to share? Anything else that Southeast Soft Wash is running right now that we should know about?
Well, we are running a sale this weekend on hose reels. I pulled a drawer open on the toolbox over there and found we had like 34 old Titan swivels. They're brand new. They're not the super swivel, but they're Titan swivels back from when we used to use Titans. I had just a bunch in the drawer. So we're going to run a sale on hose reels, because I can just give those away. They're just going to waste. I think we got 34 hose reels. Pretty good sale. We're going to mark the hose reels down, and I'm going to include the swivel. So that's a win-win. I think Emily's got that active on the site now. So just jump over the website. I don't know if she's got, it says on sale. So it looks like she got it done, which that's $50 off plus a swivel. So you're saving. It's only the 12-inch. That's an old picture there, but not the 18, just the 12-inch. So quite a bit of savings. You can about $100 savings there total. So that's not too bad. And the Titan swivels are fine. We just prefer the super swivels, but they're fine.
Super cool. You guys check out southeastsoftwash.com. Check out the build course if you're building some pressure washing equipment. Learn from the best, which is Cody. And so all those links will be in the comment section description. Download Quote IQ. Check out Skunk Wash Works. And until next time, Cody, wait, give us a word of the day. Cody, what do you think the word of the day should be?
Oh, man. Word of the day.
It could be skunk.
Let's do overweight. Because
overweight.
Thinking about that fat woman that tried to buy my house. Bro, she was big.
Wait, what happened? I didn't even know that. What happened?
Like 600 pounds tried to buy my house, and she backed out on the contract. So overweight's resonating with me today.
Oh, God. Okay, we're going to talk about this later. If you guys made this part of the video, comment down below overweight, and I'll hashtag you a real one.
Girl.
600-pound life, if you comment that down below.
All right, guys. See you.
My name is Justin. Forever self-employed. I was hard to get that money, baby.
Baby.